Section 11.1, Components of the Blood. Components of the blood. The study of the blood and its disorders, the red and white blood cells within the blood, their proportions, and overall cell health is called hematology. A hematologist is a medical specialist trained in this area. Blood is a type of connective tissue and consists of cells contained in a liquid matrix. Oh, couscous. Blood volume varies with body size and the amount of adipose tissue. An average size adult has about 5 liters or 10 pints of blood, which represents some 8% of body weight. If a specimen of blood is collected in a tube and centrifuged, the cells of the blood are packed into the bottom of the tube. These cells are called the formed elements of blood and consists of 99% red blood cells, RBCs, together with white blood cells, WBCs, and platelets. The blood sample is normally about 45% formed elements. Okay, the hematocrit, HCT, is the percentage of total blood volume composed of red blood cells. The red blood cells can account for 40% to 54% of the total blood volume in normal males and 38% to 47% in females. Plasma is the remaining 55% of the blood sample. It is a clear yellowish liquid that is 91% water. Plasma is a fluid. Non-cellular part is the fluid non-cellular part of blood. Plasma is a colloid, a liquid that contains suspended particles, most of which are the plasma proteins named albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen. Albumin makes up 58% of the proteins. Globulin makes up 38% of the proteins. Antibodies are globulins. And fibrinogen makes up 4% of the plasma proteins and is part of the mechanism for blood clotting. Nutrients, waste products, hormones, and enzymes are dissolved in plasma for transportation. When blood is allowed to clot and the solid clot is removed, serum is left. Serum is identical to plasma except for the absence of clotting proteins.
Albumin.
Albumin, Latin for white of an egg, meaning simple soluble protein.
Colloid.
Colloid, oid being the appearance of, col is glue, liquid containing suspended particles. Fibrin.
Fibrin.
Latin for fiber, stringy protein fiber that is a component of a blood clot. Fibrinogen. Fibrinogen. Gen is create and produce. Fibrino is fibrin, precursor of fibrin in blood clotting process.
Globulin.
Globulin meaning family of blood proteins.
Hematocrit.
Hematocrit, percentage of red blood cells in the blood. Hematology is a medical specialty in the disorders of the blood. Hematologist is a specialist in hematology. Hemoglobin. Globin is a protein. Red pigmented protein that is the main component of red blood cells. Index, Latin for one that points out. A standard indicator of measurement relating one component to another. Index, and then, how do you say, indices is plural for index.
Microcytic.
Microcytic means pertaining to a small cell. Plasma is Greek for something formed. It's fluid, non-cellular component of blood. And serum is Latin for whey, fluid remaining after removal of cells and fibrin clot. Okay, functions of blood. The functions of blood are to maintain the body's homeostasis, maintain body temperature. Warm blood is transported from the interior of the body to its surface, where heat is released from the blood. transport nutrients, vitamins, and minerals from the digestive system and storage areas to organs and cells where they are needed. Examples of nutrients are glucose and amino acids. Transport waste products from cells and organs to the liver and kidneys for detoxification and excretion. Examples are creatine, urea, bilirubin, and lactic acid. Transport hormones from endocrine glands to the target cells. Examples are insulin and thyroxine. Transport gases to and from the lungs and cells. Examples are oxygen and carbon dioxide. Protect against foreign substances. Cells and chemicals in the blood are an important part of the immune system for dealing with microorganisms and toxins. Form clots. Clots provide protection against blood loss and are the first step in tissue repair and restoration of normal function, and regulate pH and osmosis. So failure to maintain the normal pH range of the blood between 7.35 and 7.45 can cause paralysis and death. Hydrogen ion concentration is a measure by using a pH scale to show the balance between acid and alkaline in any solution. Pure water is a neutral solution and has a pH of 7.0. Solutions with a pH less than 7.0 are acidic. Solutions with a pH greater than 7.0 are alkaline or basic. Blood has a pH between 7.35 and 7.45 and must be maintained within the range for life to continue. Buffer systems in the blood are used to maintain the correct pH range. Examples of buffer systems are bicarbonate and phosphate. Osmosis is the passage of water through a selectively permeable membrane, such as a cell membrane, from the more watery side to the less watery side. All cells exchange water by osmosis, and red blood cells exchange 100 times their own volume across the cell membrane every second. Viscosity, the resistance of fluid to flow, is an important element that affects the blood's ability to flow through blood vessels. Whole blood is 5 times as viscous as water. If the viscosity decreases because red blood cells are deficient, as in anemia, blood flows more easily and puts a strain on the heart because of the increased amount of blood being returned to it in a unit of time. Acid is Latin for sour, a substance with a pH below 7. Alkaline or basic, meaning a substance with a pH above 7.0. Alkyl means base. Buffer, Latin for cushion, substance that resists a change in pH.
Creatinine.
Creatinine, breakdown product of the skeletal muscle protein creatine. Homeostasis, stability or equilibrium of a system of the body's internal environment. Osmosis, osmo means push, the passage of water across a cell membrane. Urea, Greek for urine, end product of nitrogen metabolism. Viscous is Latin for sticky, resistant, and resistant to flowing. Viscosity, the resistance of a fluid to flow. So, alright, so we have elements of these words. What do they mean? Globin, or excuse me, let's go. Old is I forgot. Old, appearance of. Okay, old is appearance of. Gen is to create, produce. Hemo is blood. Crit is to separate. Col is glue, and globin is protein. A substance that resists change in pH is a buffer. A substance with a pH above 7 is alkaline, and a substance with a pH less than 7 is acidic. Okay. Movement of water across a cell membrane is osmosis. Resistance of a fluid to flow is viscosity or viscous.